When South Africa's Government of National Unity, GNU, was announced after the 2024 election, it was hailed as a historic compromise. For the first time in 3 decades, the African National Congress, ANC, could not govern alone. Instead, it pulled together an arrangement with the Democratic Alliance, DA, Inkatha Freedom Party, IFP, and several smaller players. The GNU was framed as a symbol of reconciliation and shared responsibility in a fractured nation. ANC Secretary General Mbalula began calling for the GNU to be expanded.
With the possibility of an expansion on the horizon, some current GNU members have voiced concern.
At face value, this sounds like a noble call for inclusivity. But here is the question that lingers in the background. Is the ANC's real motive less about unity and more about plotting to weaken the DA? According to Mbalula and other ANC leaders, broadening the GNU ensures that no major bloc is excluded from governance. They point to South Africa's crises, unemployment, inequality, economic stagnation, as challenges that demand as wide a coalition as possible. On the surface, this makes the ANC look like a party willing to rise above narrow interests. In a country scarred by political mistrust, the symbolism of more hands on the wheel seems reassuring. Yet politics is rarely so pure. Stories of generosity often mask sharper calculations, and the ANC's real motive may not be inclusion at all. The GNU is, in truth, a fragile creature. It rests on 3 poles: the ANC, the DA, and the IFP. Smaller parties are present, but they lack the weight to shift the balance. The ANC's partnership with the DA is especially awkward. Their ideological differences are glaring. The DA defends market liberalism, while the ANC talks redistribution and state intervention. The IFP provides some stability in KwaZulu-Natal, but cannot anchor the coalition nationally. In practice, the GNU has become a two-pole system, ANC on one side, DA on the other. For the ANC, this arrangement is perilous. The DA, though smaller, begins to look like an equal partner, wielding influence well beyond its electoral size. For years, the DA has cast itself as the ANC's main rival, appealing to urban voters, the middle class, and business leaders who long for efficiency. By joining the GNU, it has gained a legitimacy opposition parties seldom enjoy. In this new setup, the DA can pose as the responsible adult, the guarantor of stability, the one restraining ANC excesses. And if the GNU falters, it is the ANC, not the DA, that will carry the blame. The DA gets the credit without the costs. For the ANC, this is more than uncomfortable, it is dangerous. No ruling party can afford to let its chief rival grow into a credible governing force. If the DA strengthens inside the GNU, it threatens the ANC's dominance. This explains why the ANC may be eyeing expansion not as generosity, but as a counterstrike. Expanding the GNU offers the ANC a way to dilute the DA's growing influence. By pulling in more parties, even radical ones like the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, or MK, party, the ANC shifts the balance. Suddenly the DA is no longer the decisive counterweight. It becomes just one voice among many, unable to dominate the narrative of responsibility. There's also the advantage of co-option. The EFF and MK thrive on fiery rhetoric and outsider status. But once inside the GNU, they would be forced to compromise. Responsibility dulls revolution. Their ability to attack the ANC from the outside would weaken, and their base may see them as sellouts. Seen this way, expansion is not a gesture of unity. It is a chess move. The ANC keeps itself at the center, balancing left against right, populists against liberals, ensuring that no rival, especially the DA, can rise too high. This strategy is not risk-free. Inviting the EFF or MK into government could unsettle investors and unnerve global partners. More parties at the table could mean more infighting, delaying decisions at a time when urgency is critical. Yet, the ANC has always seen itself as a broad church, capable of absorbing contradictions. For its strategists, the risks are worth taking. The greater threat is allowing the DA to consolidate power from within the GNU. On the surface, Mbalula's call to expand the GNU sounds like a noble plea for unity in a divided nation. But beneath the official rhetoric lies a sharper reality. The GNU, as it stands, grants the DA an outsized platform, one that could turn into long-term legitimacy. The ANC cannot afford to let its rival grow stronger under the cover of unity. Expansion is not primarily about inclusion or reconciliation. It is about weakening the DA. So when the ANC speaks of broadening the GNU, the real question South Africans should ask is this: is unity the goal, or is the ruling party quietly plotting to cut its biggest rival down to size?